Hello and welcome to Third Rock's Spring Launch Games. We're here at the Boulderhut for a climbing competition and a fashion show all rolled into one, and probably not as you've ever seen either of them before. Jessica Moore, Third Rock founder and creative director. You and the team look like you've come up with a fantastic event.
Oh, thanks. Well, we hope it will be something exciting. The idea came out of the lack of being able to show the collection at trade shows because of COVID scuppering everything.
Yeah.
And we wanted to bring something interactive and inclusive to the climbing community. So we came up and thought outside of the rocks and came up with the Spring Launch Games, a vertical catwalk and a lovely competition.
Yeah, and the competition itself is not necessarily ordinary either. The format is also a bit different.
Oh, certainly. There's going to be 8 athletes, 4 teams, separated into 4 teams, and they will have to contend with 4 problems.
Yeah, and if I understand it correctly, Jess, the problems, they're pairs, so the pair come out and they've got 2 boulders to choose from, and they have to decide who's going to try which boulder as well.
Yeah, and when they've decided who's going to tackle which boulder, they have to stick to it till the end of the time.
It's going to be interesting. You've also got a really good mix of climbers. You've got some Third Rock ambassadors in there and some more sort of well-known World Cup climbers.
Yeah, it's a great mix, and it's going to be really interesting and great for me to see all these great climbers wearing Third Rock and showing everybody what they can do in it.
Okay, it's time to select the teams. We've got 8 climbers behind us, so we're going to get them down to 4 teams of 2. Jess, let's have team 1, please. Out of the envelope. Eventually, there we go. Team 1 then, Rachel Carr and James Taylor. Good strong pairing. Team 2, please, Jess. Okay, team 2, we've got Holly Rees and Billy Rydell. Strong team. Elbow touch, nice. Moving on to team 3. Team 3 then, Jen Woods and Matt Phillips. Another strong team, nice pairings. And team 4 is pretty obvious. It's Aisha Khan and Mikey Cleverton, team 4. Strong team, there we go then. 8 climbers down to 4 teams. Let's see what happens. Here we go then, let's have another quick recap of those teams. 4 teams, 8 incredibly strong climbers. I'm really looking forward to this one. Jess, the co-rock founder, Third Rock founder, alongside me. Mike Langley here in the commentary booth. Team 1 is going to be Rachel Carr and James Taylor. They're going to be out first. It's Holly Rees and Billy after that. Jen Woods and Matt Phillips, and then Aisha Khan and Mikey Cleverton. It's going to be a fascinating one, this one. Slightly different. There you can see the teams. We don't really know what's going to happen with this one, to be honest. It's going to be a bit of a roadshow, one way or another, but a spectacular looking 8 boulders, I have to say. I do kind of have to say that as well, because I was part of the route setting team, but it does look really good out there. Even in some of those initial clips, it was a bit interesting to see some of the starting of the boulders. But let's get the first 2 competitors out.
Here we have we have Rachel in the Gaia jeans, which are a high-waisted mum fit jean, really extremely comfortable, elasticated waistband. It's a looser cut around the upper leg, tapering in slightly to the hem, and she's paired this with the Eclipse vest in Pink Wink. These are made out of Morph Denim, which is incredibly flexible. It gives you like born free naked-like movement, and they have such high-spec eco credentials. James is also in the Freerider short, which is the very adaptable eco denim men's version of our range, and he's wearing that with a melon coloured habitat tee, which has a back print on there, which you'll see when he gets going.
Looks good. I like it. First people along the walkway where they get to show us their wares. We're going to actually ask you, I'm going to be asking you a few questions as we go through, Jess, as to what makes these garments so good, so special, and how they look. And
yeah, so the movement is incredibly important, obviously, because you have to get into many contorted body positions.
We're going to see some of that,
yeah.
That's for sure. Watch out for that.
Comfort, so that the athletes can really concentrate on the task in hand and not have any distraction from the clothing. And obviously, from a Third Rock perspective, the eco credentials, the sustainability.
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
very important.
So both of these comes, they're working together in a team then. So James Taylor and Rachel Carr. Rachel, it looks like she's chosen the boulder on the left. They are a team. Their score is their combined score of the two boulders. If you look down the wall, soon enough you'll see the scoring system will be pretty obvious. 5 points, 10 points, 15 points and 25 for a top as Rachel pulls straight on into the starting position. They are going to work as a team. They're going to tag team attempt. So James will be down there giving Rachel plenty of support as she cruises through this early initial section on boulder number 1. Like I said, they work as a team of 2 to get as many points through the 4 rounds as possible, as Rachel just flies over to that 10-point hole. This is a pretty burly number to start off from Rachel's pretty gassed out straight in away. And what's going to be interesting here, Jess, is they've got to start thinking about how to use their time. They've got plenty of it, but obviously only one of them can climb at once. As James starts to have a look at this really athletic boulder number 1, starting on the far right-hand side of this immense comp wall here at the Boulderhut. It looks like he's going to get straight into it. Oh, a bit of a dab on the floor there. He definitely called out a dab on himself there, and instantly just talks with Rachel to see if she's ready for another burn or he should jump back on. The tactics are really quite unknown in a format such as this, because it hasn't really been done before, a pairs competition where you're working in a team, and a fun format that will hopefully make the competition quite lively, as James does stick that second move to the 5-pointer straight away on his second go, and no problems to the 10. Nice little dynamic start to the competition, and James not necessarily one who would be straight on into the comps, I wouldn't say, Jess. He likes the hard trad routes, but seems to be an absolutely steady away kind of climber. That's that trad experience on that last hole. Just a pair of thumb catches to finish, and James Taylor gets his 25 underway. 25 points for James in the bag. He was going to stand there and hopefully support Rachel to get some more points on the board for Team 1.
You can see here the really comfortable wide and soft organic cotton straps of the Eclipse vest. It's also got an inbuilt bra in there, so you're well supported. Rachel
just trying to find the method here at the moment. You do wonder if James is going to come in with some knowledge as well. They're going to talk about it. I have to say, I've just been watching these athletes, the Third Rock ambassadors, warming up, and it was pretty impressive, I have to say. They've been a pretty stern warm-up routine. They've been here for quite a few hours, and I think the inner climber probably got the better of them. They had a very long-winded warm-up, but they seem to be enjoying themselves quite a lot. Let's hope Rachel's left something for the competition.
Hopefully they're not tired out.
So just getting into this competition, start to see the graphics on the bottom left of your screen. The total team for the score is 30 at the moment. 25 for James for his top. Nice method there from Rachel now. She seems to have figured this method. The undercut rollover. Good reading from the GB team coach. She's obviously got plenty of experience in these comp styles, and the power as well. That was superb. Great support here for Rachel Carr. Let's see if she can find a top, as she's got a couple more moves to go now. And this boulder definitely ramps up towards the end. Looking so steady. She's such a pose climber, even though really she doesn't do that many competitions herself. The big roll through to the pocket. This is awesome work here from Rachel. That's superb. Gets the top in the bag. Maximum points for the team. 50 for those two. Perfect start.
Fantastic.
And fist bumps. That's what we want to see. Walking away with smiles on the face to start the competition. Really impressed there on the first 2 boulders.
Out we've got Holly in the also Eco Morph Denim buttress shorts, which are really high-waisted, slim leg. You can easily roll them up. There's no restriction there. Underneath she has the Equinox reversible neon yellow bra, which is also adaptable into a bikini top, and the Alice sugar-coloured floaty vest. Billy's wearing the Fitz Eco Denim.
I'm wearing a pair of those myself.
You are.
Enjoying them.
They're ever so. You wouldn't believe the flexibility they have. They have 4-way stretch. They're organic cotton, and these particular colourways, the light wash on Holly and the raw wash on Billy, are created with only 1 glass of water through the processing, which is phenomenal for its eco credentials. Billy's also wearing the Jack tee in grey, which you'll see the print on the back once he's got started.
Billy's keen to get started, that's for sure. Not giving us an opportunity to give the full preview for the garments here, but Billy and Holly absolutely getting into it. They're clearly discussing with the boulders here. The look on Holly's face tells us a story for sure. Billy Rydell made World Cup semi-finals in his time, and Holly Reid, we saw 8B plus crusher for sport routes on rock. But she has come off the back of massive stint as being a vet. Some epic shifts coming into this competition. And in the warm-up, she said, "I can't believe I can still climb after the work I've done over the last few weeks."
Yeah, she's just driven down from Scotland to compete today. So
still a discussion, drive on top of the work, but a serious discussion going on here between Billy and Holly. Billy's hands on hips. They've decided, interesting switch from Rachel and James in terms of male and female, who's going to try what, and that's what's superb about this format, non-gender specific boulders. So Holly Reese has gone for the one on the right with the jumps, as we've seen. It's a very dynamic boulder. Let's see how Holly fares on this. And will she go straight in for multiple attempts? And Billy's going to bide his time. Much closer. I think she's given the side of those jeans a pretty good test.
Yeah, against the volume there.
Yeah, nearly caught the swing. Just scraped herself on the wall as Billy sets for his first attempt on the blue boulder through the roof. We've just seen Rachel make really good work of this. Let's see how Billy gets on.
The Fitz jeans here, you can see they've got a carrot cut fit, which is wider around the thighs and slimmer towards the ankle, tapered in.
With Billy's experience and power, we would have thought he shouldn't have too many issues with this boulder, but it's such a different format, you never quite know. But I think the way that Billy's cruising through this one, I think we do know. He's absolutely going to annihilate this boulder.
See if he can outstretch the jeans.
Nicely done. That'll do from Billy Rydell. Good start. Barely warmed up there, I would say. Yeah. He's going to now see what he can do to support Holly through this. Hopefully she's not suffering too much from the bash on the wall earlier. And this is where the tactics of the teams really comes into play, thinking about which boulders you're going to tackle as a team to get maximum number of points.
The long line of these shorts also work really well under a harness. Don't get caught up. Oh, come on, honey.
You say that, Jess, that these denims are eco, but how are Third Rock more eco, if I can phrase it like that?
Right, well, the facility we use are one of only 6 places in the world that have this eco-green technology for denim productions. Okay. It's the finishing that is usually very non-ecological in the denim process. So they don't use any bleach or any sandblasting, any pumice, and the chemicals are from the very small amounts of water that they do use. It's all recycled and nothing goes back into the ecosystems.
Good work there from Holly. I think nobody more pleased than her that she's just snared that 5-point hold off the first move. I think it's safe to say that Holly really has made her name in the Peak District limestone. She's done so many impressive ascents on those small crimps out there, and coming out to a set of volumes and a big right to left jump is probably her absolute worst nightmare. But she's giving it a go, that's for sure, and she's certainly doing all right on this first move now. Let's see if she can repeat it. The clock runs down to 2 minutes. She really has ramped up her climbing in the last few years, now living in the Peak District, getting out on those routes as much as possible. Multiple 8Bs to her name. Let's go, Holly. Repeats that move this time. This next move's got a real pounce. Some pretty serious distance to it. 1 minute 20 left. You have to start to wonder what she's thinking now. Does she want to save something for the later 3 boulders? Billy's laying out the tactics, I reckon, a little bit there. This is where it works really nicely. You have men and women working together to solve the boulders. A real fighter here, Holly, going in for another attempt. Attempts will actually become important in this competition if there is a tie on points at the end. So the system to decide who wins, which team wins, is the total number of points, and if there is a tie after that, it will come to count back to the number of attempts.
She's not getting much of a break between attempts here because Billy sorted his out soon.
Yeah, so it's back-to-back attempts here with only 30 seconds left. You don't imagine there'll be too many attempts left here for Holly. Has got that 5-pointer already in the bag, so some points there.
More eco credentials for the jeans are the facility plant 5,000 trees a year and a SEDEX certified for their social standards. So you can be rest assured that they're made well.
I think that side of shopping or clothes manufacture is just becoming more and more important. I'm so pleased that in climbing there is this real sort of approach to it as well. There we go then, Billy and Holly walking away. 30 points in the bag for those guys. A flash there for Billy.
Next up, Jen and Matt are both wearing Bataboom unisex sweatpants. Jen is wearing Swamp colourway and Matt is wearing the black. Jen paired hers with the Jack vest and Matt's wearing the hand dip dyed Morph Tee in Blue Lake. These t-shirts are hand dip dyed in our studio and each has a very unique dye to it. All the garments here are made with GOTS certified organic cotton. That's the global organic textile standard. And the Batabooms are so versatile. They've got deep pockets and you can wear them high-waisted, and the boys tend to wear them lower on the hips, so it gives them more room around the thighs. I actually wore Batabooms throughout my entire pregnancy, so they're very comfortable.
Nice. Good info there, Jess, about what they're wearing, and I'm just observing the 2 climbers here a little bit actually. You can tell that they're 2 very experienced competitors having a sneaky look down the wall as to what boulders 2, 3 and 4 might be, but they've got a quick window now of 30 seconds to look at boulder number 1 and choose who's going where. Start to see Matt trying to figure out what's involved. Who's going to go left, who's going to go right. We've seen men and women go different directions on boulder 1 already. That's what I really love about this format. Got to do some thinking as to how to get those points for your team. There is a £500 prize money up for grabs here as well between the teams. Let's have a look. Who's going to go first, who's going to go where? Looks like Matt's going right. Matt Phillips, double world champion in the paraclimbing category, an absolutely incredible athlete and one of the nicest blokes you ever meet as well. Let's see how he gets on these jumps. He is particularly good at this style. Got to warm it up though. They were on the board, on the 45-degree board, climbing on a few edges earlier, which is certainly not going to help on this style. But we really hope that Matt can put on a show on this boulder. Looks like Jen Wood's going straight in for it on the women's, on that. Well, I was about to say women's boulder. That's years of men and women on boulders that are designated for them. Jen Wood going on the one on the left, the one we've just seen Billy on.
You can see the Jack print on the back of that vest, which is actually a collage of my climbing rack. And it says "Climber to the Bone" on it.
Nice. Jen Wood sticks just about open-handed, hold number 10. Works really hard. She's been training so hard for the GB team over the last few months. Moved back to Sheffield. You can see that power's really coming in useful in the top section of this boulder. A little bit tricky at the top here, but not too bad once you really settle into the back of that pocket. And Jen Wood looks really comfortable. Superb work flash for Jen Wood. That's really going to work well for their team. Obviously 25 points. Now let's see what Matt can do. All eyes on Matt Phillips now then. Got to get this jump done, obviously. Oh, yes. Have a look at that from Matt Phillips. What an absolute legend, winding up for this next jump now and sticks it straight away. Superb work for Matt. Can he top this one out? This is not an easy finish, this boulder. Plenty of time on the clock here for Matt Phillips. Oh, this guy is absolutely incredible. Just got to push into that top. Oh,
fantastic.
Yes, Matt Phillips. That was a superb show. So good. That team walks away with 50 points. That was absolutely brilliant. Love that guy.
Yeah, he's amazing. Out we have Aisha in the Yara Aster Trousers and Mikey in the Supernova Trousers in charcoal. These are both evolutions of styles we've had previously. The Nova, you might know, this is an evolved style from that. It's now got reinforced pocket openings. It's got double layer knee and bum patches for reinforcement. And this Yara print on the Asters is inspired by trees and forests, and it may look like a stripe, but it's actually, if you look at the detail, it's tree trunks. The Aster Trousers are an evolution of the Scat. They're the younger sister of the Scat, which have a much higher waistband and a much slimmer tapered in leg. The elasticated waistband, actually, they both have elasticated waistbands and with secure puller cords inside. Aisha's also wearing the satin bra in black, which is the most comfortable bra in the world. I can
you can vouch for that.
I can vouch for that. You can actually sleep in it. It's so comfortable and not notice
I'm actually sleeping in mine right now.
And Mikey's wearing the Sun Tee in sky colour, which is a hand-drawn, beautiful print of a beautiful landscape. The satin bra actually comes in 2 different heights at the front, so you can choose what kind of coverage you want, a high or low. And it's named after Saturn, which has a ring, and it has the open, beautiful back.
Nice. Aisha Khan and Mikey Cleverton getting underway on boulder number 1. And if you have just joined us, this is the Third Rock Spring Launch Games. 8 climbers into 4 teams working together, 2 boulders for each round. They have to decide which of their team member climbs which boulder, and Aisha's choosing the left-hand side. We have seen Rachel climb this boulder and Billy so far. Boulders aren't assigned gender. Anybody in the team can climb it. Nicely done from Aisha. She's looking really strong in the warm-up. She's looking really good as well. She has got that number 10 hold just pretty in the bad spot though, but gives it full beans to try and adjust. Good effort that hold does get, as you can probably see, slightly better further to the right you go, and she was right on the left-hand edge of it there. Super strong climber, Aisha, out of Leeds, works at the city block. Loves her outdoor routes and boulders, bit of everything. Did just miss that. I'm not sure if that was a complete go there from Mikey. The attempts will show us in a second.
Both of these trousers are in a lightweight organic cotton twill that's stretchy, and they both have a curved side seam, which gives you, wow.
He's cruising, he's bouncing.
For your knees.
He's certainly bouncing here. Just has a check of that with the right hand, trying to read the chalk on the volume more than the handhold itself, but he's just pushing up into that top hold, no problem. Mikey Cleverton gets it done. Good work from him.
Fantastic.
Aisha wastes no time and gets straight back into this tricky groove section at the bottom. That bottom left-hand undercut is not actually that great. And obviously it's a pretty steep roof coming out of there, so looks like she's read this nice method with the sort of the wrap underneath with the right hand. I wonder if she'll go back to that or if she'll try something a little bit different. Actually uses it as the sloper on top and then rolls. I thought she'd found that sort of under wrap. Yeah, she's just signalling to Mikey there that she might have picked up a bit of beta for him. Teammate discussing it. It's so nice that the ambassadors are working together like this to try and figure out the boulders, get points for the team. And actually, it's not that often in in this sport where you get a whole team of climbers together who are actually
competing at the same time.
Competing at the same time, but they're actually working together, and they're also part of the same kind of Third Rock family at the same time. And I guess you've probably not had them together all in one place all at the same time like this before.
No, we haven't, and it's a great opportunity for them to have some fun together.
We'll see if they're having fun a bit later on some of the other boulders. I think Aisha's just feeling the pressure a little bit here. She's obviously on the mats on her own. Mikey has cruised the boulder on the right. Was it the right decision for the team? Who's to try the blue block in the roof and who to try the jump? Completely new format here, probably never seen before. I wouldn't want to stick my neck out and say this is a completely new format that nobody's ever done.
I think maybe it's less intimidating as well to be working in a team rather than up there on the mats on your own.
Definitely get the encouragement. There's that sort of right hand flip on the underside, but it comes up a little bit short.
Very reachy.
Yeah, we saw Rachel finding success with that method, but she had her feet higher up, just smearing on the wall. Plenty of time here still for Aisha. Just discussing it together to see if they can find something else. Look at the amount of brushes Mikey's got there in his chalk bag. Blimey, where's he heading off to?
That's the Barry bucket. Upcycled, everyone's different tie-dyed boulder buckets from Third Rock.
He might have saved some eco credentials making the clothes, but he's cut about 15 trees down to make those brushes. Look at the size of them.
Hopefully they were Forestry Stewardship Council trees.
if you say so. 1 minute left then. Mikey just prepping the wall there. He also feels like that's going to be the way. Build up the feet. Hear the 1 minute buzzer in the background. If you have just joined us, Mike Langley and Jess here in the commentary position for this Third Rock Spring Launch Games. Mike Levin and Aisha Khan working as a team to try and get the maximum number of points on 2 boulders. Each boulder scored 5, 10, 15 and 25 is the top. This time goes all out, full commitment. That's superb. Absolutely full beans. I think she might have actually just come zipping off the sloper. Looks like she's going to call it a day. Unlucky there for Aisha. Got so close on that earlier attempt. Final pair. On that boulder, it looks like we're moving on.
Here we've got Rachel again in a Jill vest, which has the skull and crossbone climbing rack on the back, and the Mary shorts. James is wearing the Jack tee with the skull and crossbones on the back as well, and the all new Mofo shorts, which are recycled synthetic, post-consumer recycled synthetic shorts. They're lightweight, they're wicking. They're really transitional as well. You can swim in these shorts, deep water solo, run, climb. They're for any active wardrobe. And it's the first time we've actually had an all-over print for men. So finally, more colour and more excitement in the men's range.
I like it. I don't think I'd wear it myself. It's not my style. I'm more of a all black.
We have it in black just for you. And also it's coming in blue, a lovely splash, bright blue. So something for everyone. Actually, the Mofo shorts are coming in youth sizes as well, which is the first time for us. So we've got something for everyone.
Competition's really going to ramp up here potentially. Round 2 we move on to though. So we have seen Rachel and James on boulder 1. They did really well. 50 points for their maximum score. They're having a really good look. So boulder number 2, round number 2. 2 more boulders. We've got these Rock City volumes on the right and simple volumes on the left through the Boulderhut logo. I would say the pink and white boulder on the left, it's the confuser. It's an absolute cluster of different things. And number 2 is pure brute. So they're actually trying to figure it out both together. That's a really interesting tactic. Working together to figure out a boulder, then deciding who's going to go on it. I like it. Rachel obviously works with the GB team day in, day out. Tactics is her game. That's what she coaches on a regular basis. And James, as we saw on boulder number 1, super strong. Trad climbing is mostly his game, but it's obviously no slouch on the routes as well. Actually 8B plus on routes, V12 boulderer. So let's see. This is possibly one of the harder boulders. Time will tell as to how the competition goes on as they work again on the left-hand side. They obviously both have a preference here. Let's see. Looks like Rachel's stepping in.
I love the look of this boulder. I'd definitely choose this pink one over the black one.
This is your bag. Yeah, these rails then for the feet, they're actually pretty slopey. Decent pounce by Rachel. She seems to be going really well here so far. Sort of really blocked rail. She's absolutely rinsing this boulder at the moment.
You see, these Mary shorts might be short, but they've got a really good bias cut crotch that will cover your modesty. No need for modesty stars.
Rachel's absolutely just obliterated that boulder. It was a lot harder than it looks. We're walking away shaking her wrist a little bit there. Let's hope she's okay, but she has absolutely crushed that. She took a couple of attempts on the first boulder, but round number 2, no problems at all. So it's going to be her who's going to be working with James now to try and get him up this boulder. So there is a bit of a screw-on jib on the right-hand side of that starting volume. That, you can just about see it, just to tuck the heel in to get the climbers established on this start of this boulder.
It looks mean, this boulder.
Let's see how he gets on. So slopey going up to hold number 10, but nice footwork around the left arete. We said it was gonna ramp, and you said it looks mean. It's particularly difficult. Puff of the cheeks there. Be interested to see how many attempts here he has in his allotted time left with 3 minutes to go. Already accrued 35 points. Obviously the 25 maximum from Rachel. She just absolutely annihilated that second boulder. Really discussing the intricacies of this next section with that toe hook left around the arete. Which point to cut it loose, and Rachel really seemingly, I would say, discussing with James as to how long he should rest before getting back on.
I like these team tactics.
I wonder if there's going to be like a team argument at some point. I want that. No, I'm going on that boulder. Flip a coin. Flip a coin.
Thumb war.
Yeah. Just an all-out fight.
Everything can be solved with a thumb war.
James Taylor then, currently living out in Wales, over here at the Boulderhut. Second attempt on this second round. Has been here before. This is the big cut loose that he's got to really claw in the tension. Oh, for a second there I thought he was in. So the boulders scored 5, 10, 15 and 25 for the top, as I've said before, so progress on the boulder is important. Even if you feel like you might not get a top, it's still worth trying to fight for those extra zones on the boulder.
I showed my dad these shorts and he was like, I'm getting a pair as soon as I can get a flight to Tenerife and wear them on the beach. So I
thought you were going to say something very different.
So as soon as he can be on a beach with them or do some surfing in them, then...
Well, staycations and all that, he's going to have to... Yeah. Scarborough Town, watch out. He's coming in the shorts.
Get some builder's sand for him.
James back on into this section. Will he change the beta at all? Keeps it on the left heel. Just about managing to keep that right toe on as well, as he's done a try before. Oh, that's something slightly different. So much tension on those slopers. That left hand is on is absolutely dreadful, but it is higher up on that right hand this time. Yeah. You could see them discussing that. Rachel just suggesting that maybe it's worth just shuffling along the 10-pointer a little bit more. Fantastic set of holds. They look massive, but absolutely awful to hold on to. It's so slopey, and the wall's actually pretty steep there.
Yeah.
James going back in with 7 seconds left. Not quite sure what he's going to achieve, but
10.
You got this.
It's not a cumulative 10.
No, he's good.
Oh!
He actually looked really bomber on it there. He should have tried that 4 or 5 minutes ago. There we are. Try telling him that. Second pair are ready to come out. Holly and Billy.
Here comes Holly in the neon yellow Equinox bra underneath the sugar-coloured Alice vest again, tied in a knot. You can be adaptable with this vest if you wanted the baggier fit, or you wanted to show off your high-waisted Ziggy Titan leggings. This print is inspired by climbing wall features. It also has some rock texture in there. And the small scale of the print is very wearable and not overpowering, but still being beautiful. It's actually got a genius ankle pocket, which is in a no pressure zone on the back of the ankle. I spent many hours rolling around on the floor trying to find a place that wouldn't have any pressure on it, doing yoga
Product
and whatnot.
testing.
Yeah, and the ankle is where it's at. So
Okay.
that's where you can put your key, your tissue, and your change. And it's made from Eco Nil, which is recycled ocean fishing nets and recycled carpets.
Oh wow, okay.
Which
Nice.
so clear up those landfills. Billy's in the Hero Trousers, which is made from post-consumer recycled plastic bottles. And the Carabiner Climber-centric printed tee. You won't miss him in that. The Hero Trousers actually are cut with a banana-shaped panel in the side, which gives more room to your knee.
Not for storing bananas.
Not for storing bananas, although it does have 5 pockets, so you could store 5 bananas.
You can have a bunch. Billy Rydell then looks like between him and Holly Reed, he's chosen the beefy boulder on the right-hand side. Holly just waiting it out at the moment. Once they've decided who's going to do what, they can't switch. She's going to hopefully enjoy the crimps on the confuser boulder on the left on the simple volumes. Let's see how Billy gets on. Looks like he's going to go first on this one. Bit of a shout from "Come on, Billy" at the background, wearing the Hero Trousers. Let's see if he can pull one out the bag here. Straight past hold number 5. Billy Rydell, World Cup semi-finalist, really going well at the moment. Unfortunately missed the first World Cup of the season out in Switzerland. He just levitates around on the sloper of number 10. This is superb work here from Billy. First attempt for his team up to hold number 15, which is utterly awful as a hold.
Clamping it with his feet.
He's pushing so hard.
Oh,
Not a hero. Not yet. Superb effort. Trust me, guys, that last move is absolutely nails. Holly, using their time wisely, jumps straight on as Billy obviously takes a big rest, one would imagine. Let's see how Holly gets on in this one then. Potentially a bit more her style through these kind of razor crimps. Got to commit. It's quite a big move off this initial feature. We should push dynamically, or try and find a more static classical rock climber way of getting through it. Just got to pounce now. See how steep that lower section is. Just comes up short. Good work there from Holly. Pretty close. It's actually not that obvious what you got to do on these holds. It's sort of it's such a collection of screw-ons. I don't think there isn't a shape there. I don't think. Anybody with OCD would be having a meltdown right now. There's nothing lines up on that boulder. We saw from Rachel Carr as part of Team 1 and absolutely dominated through those crimps just a few minutes ago. Bit of a discussion as to who's ready to go next. Who's got the most power still in the tank, in the forearms.
the Titan leggings are wicking, fast drying, oil resistant, so you don't need to worry about getting down and dirty. And they're really good at cross disciplines, so for running, yoga and climbing. They work for everything.
Holly just trying the heel hook method there. She's obviously not too keen on going for the full power pounce up to hold number 5. Hold 5 is actually just about, see it there in the pink tape, is the crimp nestled in amongst those long rails. Trying all the options here, Holly Reed. Just got to go for it now. Easier said than done. It is a big move, and that lower section is pretty steep up into a slab. Looks like Billy's ready. Negotiation has been had. Billy's ready.
Will he do it this time?
Really likes that first move. Look at the speed he's going through. That's experience right there. Hovering through that initial section, feet off. He knows it's pretty much all about this top move. Really got to dig in now on that top section. Pushing down with the mantle. No, Grimacing here from Billy. Oh, that was close. Billy's had to try really hard all of a sudden. This is superb to see the ambassadors pushed here.
Really clamping in on that right thumb.
Yeah, there's a little screw on just for the thumb, and the thumb, it feels like it's holding 90% of your body weight at that point.
It's not much to hold on top.
All pressing on the thumb. Really good. And a big pounce to finish, and it's blocked that top hold as well. So what are Billy and Holly going to do here? If you have just joined us, the spring launch games here by Third Rock, Mike Langley and Jess, the Third Rock. I keep calling you Co-Rock. What's going on? Third Rock.
Third Rock, like Third Rock from the sun. Planet Earth.
Exactly.
That's where it came from. Yeah.
Third Rock founder and creative director in the commentary booth with me. Team number 2 here, working to get as many points for the team as possible. Holly's chosen the left-hand boulder on the crimpy rails. Billy's currently having a rest on his boulder on the right. Holly just not quite getting on with that lower section at the moment. So good if she can snare hold number 5. And Billy's shaking it off. He's going straight back in as the time is running low. Both climbers under a bit of pressure here. Billy, a matter of seconds on that lower section at the moment. This time for Billy Rowe. What can he get out of that top hold? Let's go, Billy. Oh, the right hand ripped just as he went for the top hold. Wonder if it's getting sweaty on that top sloper. This is really close. 35 seconds only left for this team to find some points here. Who's going to jump in for another go? It's a tag in, tag out system. Looks like Holly fancies it with 24 seconds. If she falls off, will Billy have one more go? I think even with 10 seconds left, Billy could get this. A final attempt in the bag. Holly drops. Is Billy is straight back on.
He's already up there, look.
Cameron's got to keep up.
His ankle.
Here he goes. All or nothing now in the last 5 seconds. Billy Rodel. This could make a big difference.
Oh.
Hits it with 2 fingers and drops. Really interesting. Billy Rodel. Thought he had it. Absolutely nails that last move. Superb work from Billy. It was really close. Good work from both Holly and Billy there. No tops. Third team coming out on the second round of boulders.
Here we have Team Carabiner Vests. Unisex. We're trying to broaden our range of unisex items to be more inclusive. Jen here is wearing the Tina shorts in 80s retro colourway. These come in 2 leg lengths. Jen's wearing the shorter version, and there's a regular length too. And they are a shorts version of our Titan leggings, which you saw on Holly there. They're great for any active life and also cross disciplines. And Matt is wearing the black version of the Mofo shorts, which you'd like.
It's black.
It comes in black. These are part of our core collection, which will continuously be replenished online, which we don't often do. We often have stock in, and then it's when it's gone, it's gone. It's not replenished. But the Mofos are going to be in the core collection.
Jen Woods then Team GB, and Matt Phillips also in Team GB representing the para climbing. Double world champion Matt Phillips in para climbing. This is going to be a really interesting pairing because neither boulder is particularly easy, and obviously with Matt's right arm, it's a really hard decision, this one, I think, for the team. Who's going to go left, who's going to go right? Interesting. Matt Phillips then, off he goes. Nails the 5-pointer. This guy seems to be really on form. He's been training really well at home, apparently, on the home board. Struggles with that initial section. So good with this format, Jess, to have some of the para athletes as well as the able-bodied all competing together and in the same teams. I love it. I want to see more of this in the future.
Yeah. It should be a new discipline.
Team bouldering.
Yeah.
Jen Wood.
Team inclusive.
Yeah, Jen Wood. No issues so far with that earlier section. Bit of a tricky move on this crossover, but does it as a sort of a match of an undercut, slightly blind finish hold, but Jane Woods actually cruised that boulder, no problems at all. Gets her 25 points in the bag with just one attempt. Matt just shuffling that right here, like such an experienced climber. Loves the roots and the boulders. She climbed Font 7A. Matt Phillips. Been to so many fantastic paraclimbing events over the years, and it's just awesome to watch, and they're generally just the best fun to hang out with. I think of all the athletes and teams around the world, if I could go to a competition, it would always be a para one, because it's just so much fun. They really do know how to have a lot of fun, those guys. Matt just having a look at some different foot options. This is a 4-round competition then, so we are on boulder number 2, or boulders number 2 at the moment. One more team to come, Aisha Khan and Mike after these guys.
See the nice big carabiner on the front there. The print's very retro inspired when climbing was all about spandex and colour and
I feel like
fun.
I just about missed that stage in climbing, which I'm pretty pleased about.
Yeah, no, I wish I'd been back in that era. Freedom of expression, trying to bring a bit of that back.
Yeah, why not? Matt absolutely giving it the gas here. Good support for him as well. You can see how bad that left hand sloping starting hold is. Taking one for the team there a little bit. Matt suffering on the left wrist, scraping across that first volume. With them climbing on the side by side like this, you do wonder if they want to win this competition, have they made the right decision? It's obviously too late once somebody's pulled on. Once you've decided which boulder you're going to try, there is no going back.
It's important to try and read the route properly beforehand, before you allocate who's going to climb what.
Yeah,
think about your strengths, your weaknesses.
Some, especially like the pink boulder on the left, is not necessarily that easy to spot what's going on with this. Sometimes you just got to get up there and feel it out. Come on now, Matt. Really just trying to work something out of the left volume. Do wonder at which point is it worth keep fighting, or is it time to walk away, save something for the later boulders? You're currently sitting in second place this pairing, just after, with 80 points just behind James Taylor and Rachel Carr, 85 to their name. It's Ryder and Reeves, and then Cleveland and Khan, who are out next. So they are in a good position. Tactics would say potentially walk away, but this guy doesn't really walk away, I don't think. He just keeps battling.
It's ridiculously slopey.
That's pretty much the only word you can use, isn't it? It's just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous and mean. Mean looking shapes.
Jane Wood then and Matt Phillips deciding to walk away. One top in the bag out with potential 2 there. 5 points for Matt there. That was a good effort off that starting position. Final pairing then on boulder number 2.
Aisha's back in the Reese dungarees. It's a new style for us. She's wearing it oversized this time. It makes her happy, the print. The Reese is a playful addition to any wardrobe. It has carabiner clip closures to make us climbers feel at home. It's got 5 pockets, some conveniently shaped for boulder brushes and mobile phones, and others to just put your hands in. She's paired it with the super comfortable satin bra, in black, which is longer line, so much more comfortable to wear as out as a top. And Mikey is sporting the Fitz jeans again, with this Eco Morph denim in a carrot cut. They're so transitional, and they're not just for climbers. They were designed for climbers, but the fundamentals of that, with the immense movement and durability and flexibility, it lays over into any active wardrobe, anybody who likes comfort in their life. And the Morph Tee again in Misty Plum, which is hand dyed, dip dyed in our studio. We do these in batches as well, so not to waste any.
These two are going to go down with it now, then you can hear the beep in the background. Looks like they've chosen pretty quickly in that sort of 30-second observation window. Normal World Cups, you have 2 minutes observation per boulder, but these guys got 30 seconds between the two of them to decide who wants to do what. Can you see Aisha Khan then having a really good look around this confusing set of crimson rails as Mikey starts to figure out what the juice might be on this boulder number 2. And does just get straight into it. Not much discussion between the two of them at this point. Let's see what Mikey Cleverden can do then. All the way from North Devon. Also in the GB paraclimbing team. A couple of silvers back in 2017. Has climbed first ascents of 8B boulders, and you can see that power right now. Let's see how it gets. Oh, sticks that hold number 15. This guy is on form.
Got the thumb.
See Billy Rydell on that move earlier, really struggling, just snaring the top hold. He enjoyed himself up there. Such a good guy to have on the scene. Mike Cleverden really enjoys these competitions. Aisha Khan then.
See the flexibility there.
You beat me to it.
For both Aisha and the dungarees.
Nicely done. That's the really punchy move at the bottom of this round 2 boulder. Aisha Khan carrying quite a lot of tape there. Obviously been training hard over the last few weeks. Tricky little section on the top of this one. Let's see how she gets on. We've seen Rachel Carr and Jen Wood fine work at the top of it around this 15-point hold. A bit of a wrestle. Just gets to the underside of that top hold. It's not a great hold there. Just got to work the feet a little bit here, Aisha. Really staying composed. Superb work so far. Looking round the corner, just bumps it. Maximum composure, that's really good. She doesn't really go in for competitions that much. Good work there for Aisha Khan. Had to put in a decent fight.
Fantastic.
I think she would be really pleased with that after struggling a bit on the first boulder. Puff the cheeks for Mike Cleverden. It's all eyes on him now then.
Needs a brush.
Well, he's got enough of them. he's so
well, he's not using them.
So lazy. He's just getting someone to do it for him.
Needs to load up the rack, on the brush rack on the Barry barrel.
It's got to be the best name for a boulder bucket going, that.
Barry barrel. And they've also got really cool little clips inside the zip pockets, which you can secure your valuables on, whether it be a ring or keys. You don't lose them.
He's got the fear. He's got the fear. Let's go, Mikey Cleverden. 15 points on this boulder already. 25 is the top, so one move for him to try and achieve that 25-pointer. Team currently sitting down in third place at the moment, so does need this, Mikey. Round 2 of 4 here, so this is the top sloping pinch on the right hand. Yeah, it's really hard to generate anything upwards off that hold. He's holding it, but a lot of the weight is on the left arm at that point, so to really pull up into that top hold, you've got to start generating something out of that right hand. Bit of a discussion going on here. Mike is thinking...
Wait for it.
One more. He's always got one more go.
He's getting his own brush out this time.
It's about time. The tree brush. Are you guys making brushes at the moment?
No, we haven't got any more at the moment. Watch this space. We will.
One thing at a time.
got so tired he put his brush into the chalk there.
Yeah, just dip that guy straight in the berry bucket. Next time he comes out, it'll just be a blizzard of chalk. You put more chalk on the wall than he's taking off.
He's also got our Brimmer hat on here.
Bit of a trademark for Mikey, wearing the hat during the,
he loves
the competitions.
His caps.
Pretty sure he's climbed the first cent of an 8B in a cap. Caps for
They
power.
absorb the sweat.
Caps for power. He obviously knows that this last move's absolutely nailed, so he might as well just run down the clock.
Get his breath back.
Fair bit of competition climbing still to go for these guys. It's interesting seeing them going all out on each boulder. So this lower section just cutting loose around the corner there. A lot of body tension.
Now then.
Let's see if he can really lock into that top. Oh, that was close. So close from Mikey Cleverton there. Oh, he really nearly had one over Billy Rydell there. That was superb.
He got to exactly the same point.
You could argue he was even closer than Billy on that. Superb effort from the fourth
It's the jeans,
team.
it makes you climb hard.
Must be. Different outfit, different ability. We're moving on to boulder number 3 already.
Right, Rachel's back out in another colourway of the Aster Trousers, the little sister of the Scat, which is our signature, and she's got it in the it with the Botangle Equinox bra, reversed to its printed side. As I said before, this is adaptable into a bikini top because it's got the fast drying kind of swimsuit fabric, which is regenerated nylon, and we've actually got bikini bottoms to match this online now, so you can look out for them in the many different prints and colorways, so you can go surfing, swimming, beach,
Deep water soloing,
deep water soloing, yeah, indeed, in this in a lovely little bikini set here. And James is wearing the Habitat tee, which you can see more of the design there. This was designed during the time of the Australian bushfires, and I really wanted to bring the focus to the importance of habitat to species and the importance of it. So it's a charity donation tee. So a proportion goes to regenerating forests and habitat.
So as this team turn around to face boulder number 3, it's going to be an interesting decision because Rachel Carr is really on form in this competition so far. She's been absolutely smashing the first 2 boulders. James did really well on boulder number 1, but we haven't really seen him in action that much yet. Let's see where they go. Looks like Rachel has chosen the boulder on the right, the big flat hold volumes. This is going to be really interesting. Rachel looks like she's miming out what she might need to do at the lower section. Really good to see Rachel pushing herself on these boulders. Just checking out what to do on this lower section. Nice double catch there for Rachel.
Why not just jump it?
Yeah, I think that's going to be, we're going to see a bit of that. Don't want to give the game away here, but it's all about this next section then.
Swing.
Oh, great effort. That's actually a lot closer than it looks there for Rachel.
It looks far away here from this angle.
Also,
Wow.
it's a classic modern comp move where it's all about body positioning, swinging in the right direction, and trying to kick, as you can really see Rachel trying to demonstrate, kicking into the groove and across the groove. You're kind of going to go sideways as well as in. It's a really hard momentum swing to actually try and get the gist of. James Taylor, he's obviously fancies the slabs.
You can see here he's wearing the Supernova trousers in spirulina colourway. Makes you super strong. Eating your spirulina.
I tried that once in a smoothie.
Doesn't look the best in a smoothie, but it looks good on the trousers.
Wasn't game. So just got to get established on this ginormous volume.
Flash Gordon volumes.
Like it. Tenuous slab climbing here. James Taylor would have fought with trad climbs to his name all the way up to E9. He might be quite familiar on the techie stuff.
Happens to be super colour coordinated with the T-print.
I like what you've done. I like what you've done there.
How convenient. I didn't plan that.
See, there is a tiny little jib just in the corner there for the 10-point hold. James Taylor on his first attempt here for Team Taylor and Carr. Tricky little foot swap to get around this corner. Classic, really technical, kind of modern style with the volumes, but super techie stuff, and all really about the footwork. The full foot plant there on the left foot. Stand up into hold 25, and he's blown the crimp. Instantly looks at his fingers. He was looking so casual. Rachel, one in, one out. She's back on. Opts to double to the right hand of those two volumes next to each other. Let's see what momentum she can get this time. She's looks like for a second there she was going to keep her hand up right. Now got to get the right swing going on here. Opting to use that lower right volume to try and generate a bit of something. Now kicks it off. Oh, superb. That was superb work from Rachel. She's getting really close. I do hope.
The expression says that, that was a bit better.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, could be it. This Equinox bra is really great for strong lats. It really is soft around that area, but supportive, so it doesn't create any bulges.
This time Rachel Carr so close. There's a pretty bad sloping screw on around the left, so this is where the team format gets interesting. They've had 5.5 minutes between them to try and find two tops. With 1 minute 50, neither has got one, but both of them obviously feel close. Problem is James Taylor is on a really slow climbing slab, so somehow he needs to get around this as fast as possible to give Rachel another opportunity. Really struggling with that initial footwork here, James, and melts off that volume. Looking at his skin once again, looks like they've opted to give Rachel a bit of a rest. It could be a really frantic last minute here, I think.
He was so close on the first attempt.
Yeah, he basically had it in his hand, that top hold, and then slipped off, so he knows what he's got to do. Sometimes that can definitely play a few mind games. You know you got there before, and sometimes it's first go, best go, but let's see what James can do in this lower section now. A couple of really tenuous foot swaps on this boulder. It's actually a pretty decent foothold, that, but you've got to really put some weight through it.
No hands rest.
Casual.
James was actually he product tested the Nova trousers for us quite thoroughly and gave us plenty of feedback before we went to production with them.
Let's have a look at that left foot this time. This is where he melted off that right hand undercut screw on. It's a pretty bad blade, to be honest. It's sort of a sloping edge. He's going for the full left foot plant again, so this is where he fell before. Can he just keep it together this time? It looks like he's got it much more under control. Does get a top.
Had that left foot much higher.
Superb work. Hopefully Rachel's going to jump straight on. And she does with 10 seconds.
Literally jumps.
15-pointer in potential here. She's been so close to this move. Everyone wants to see her get it. Come on, Rach. Oh, man. So close. Oh, disappointed for her there, but obviously pleased for James to get up the slab. Yeah, she did really well there. It was interesting they chose to do it that way round. See, Rachel much more familiar with the comp style, potentially more than James, and they were both climbing really well on that boulder. James's attempt on the slab did burn a lot of time though.
Here comes Holly again with the Jill vest tied nicely in a knot to show off her core collection Thor leggings, which are in swamp colour here. These are an organic cotton opaque legging, which are just super comfortable and a staple piece for any eco-active wardrobe. We have Billy in the iron brew coloured Carabiner tee now. He'll definitely stand out in pictures on the rock in this. You won't miss him in a crowd. And he is now wearing the Freerider denim shorts in Eco Morph Denim. They're crazy flexible movers. They've got a lot of cheeky features to them inside, which you'll see. There's certain little catchphrases inside the fly, which are entertaining.
Spotted that earlier.
Did you? But you'll have to see it. Well, maybe not. Maybe you'll not get Billy to open his fly.
We'll best end that conversation there.
If you buy it.
The internet will absolutely ruin us, that was.
Embarrassing. Here we go.
Okay. Billy and Holly Rees. Billy Rydell looks like he's eyeballing the volumes boulder on the right hand side that we've just seen. Rachel, Carr and Holly. Looks like it's going left. Billy's looking pretty nonplussed about it. Let's see. Looks like he's going straight in for it. Likes the look of it. Got a bit of making up to do after struggling on the previous boulder here, Billy. That's for a slightly different starting foot sequence than Rachel. And goes for the 1-2 straight, using all 3 of those volumes in the first 2 moves. Let's see what sort of momentum Billy can generate across this gap. Nicely done.
That's exactly what Rachel was trying to do, wasn't it?
Really, really close. Finds the screw on. Didn't need it for the land. We kind of knew that was the case, but it's not all over this boulder. Nice little palm down and push up to the pinch, and Billy Rydell, no worries at all. Flashes the boulder. Maximum score for him, 25.
Big smile.
Redeemed himself after boulder number 2.
And then Holly's on Flash Gordon.
No tops so far for Holly. Let's see if she prefers the slabs. Classic bit of pushing around the corner. Just trying to find something up on the top edge of that. I mean, the way the body position works, it really does just push you up around the corner. You really want to find something for the right hand, and there's just nothing there at all. The dual texture on the top of that volume really offering nothing for the hands. Bit of a tenuous foot swap here. She's obviously seen what to do. So good on those hard limestone roots. For small footholds would be pretty comfortable for her.
It's a long reach. Can she do the splits? Wow.
Good work from Holly. Much more comfortable on this boulder at the moment. Just starts to make use of that 10-point hold. Now comes a tricky transition. You see quite a lot of the climbers actually struggling with the sweat on their hands a little bit. It's a long boulder, climbs long this one, but unlike Rachel and James, she's actually got quite a lot of time on her hands.
What do I do?
Doesn't like it. Many a comp climber can relate to that, I think. Just, oh my God.
Billy can.
What have I got to do?
Can work with her on this to advise.
It's a hard transition now. We saw James with his sort of his foot splat round the corner. Let's see what Holly goes for. It's a dual texture being used by us, the route setting team, to block any real standing points on the number 5 hold or the top of that volume. But power on the crimps, so much power in that right hand from Holly, superb.
Working her way right up there.
Let's just see if she can find the match. Superb
Fantastic
work. So good for Holly, well done.
I'm sweating. My hands are sweating.
You're melting. That was actually, yeah, it was a really good effort to put the power down through that right hand and actually stand up into that volume. Didn't need the transition around the corner like we saw with James. Good work, and Holly's back on form.
Next up, we have Jen and Matt in the Climbers Against Cancer charity donation tees by Third Rock. Jen's in the Winnie, and Matt's in the Ruck Spin, and they feature a Climb Bear print on the back, which is to celebrate diversity. You'll be able to see that in a sec when you go around the back. Here we go, we see these furry friends in 3 different climbing disciplines: ice, boulder and lead climbing there. And so charity donations go to Climbers Against Cancer for these t-shirts, and they're organic cotton. And we wanted to highlight diversity because we have an inclusivity pledge at Third Rock now, not just for race, but for genders and sizing. We're trying to broaden our range. Jen is also wearing the Mary shorts in Yara print. They have little belt loops if you want to wear them with a belt. And they're such a fun, happy short. It's going to be great for summer. Matt's actually wearing the short version of the Hero trousers. These are a slimmer fit, got plenty more pockets, a lot more technical, smarter short for the collection.
So, Jen Wood, Matt Phillips just trying to decide who's going to go for what here. This is going to be a really interesting decision. Looks like they have decided, a nod of agreement. Matt did really well on the jumpy boulder, physical boulder number 1, and has opted for something a bit more dynamic. And goes into this really kind of comp style boulder. Just seemingly melts off. It's quite a good hold, that first number 5. Jen's going in slow. We've just seen a brilliant effort from Holly Reeds on this one. 2 methods, one used by James going around the corner at the top, pushing into the groove, and Holly just crimping away up the face. Let's see how Jen Wood gets on. So much experience, technique, power, knowledge from Jen. She really has been competing for quite a long time now, even though she's still pretty young. Such a regular on the World Cup circuit and the UK's comp scene, really. She's pretty much always there and always doing well, and does really well on that boulder, Jen Wood. Maximum points for her, 25 for the top.
Crushed it quickly.
Did crush it. It's going to be all down to Matt Phillips then to see how he can get on this tricky first section. We've seen that he likes the jumps. Oh, impressive. Just hits it with the one-hander lander. Just full rotation. That's going to burn the skin. Ask the brush guy to come in. That was good effort from Matt. It's really not an obvious sequence of what you've got to do here out of the underside of that roof. Just leaning on all of Jen Wood's experience. Just trying to figure out what's the best method for Matt here. He absolutely crushed boulder number 1. 2 jumps in 1 boulder. It's a bit more dynamic, but in a different fashion. Just catches it one hand again. He's obviously burning quite a lot of skin there. You wonder if there's a different option for him. Would have thought he can afford quite a few attempts here.
Trying to control that swing.
Now trying something a little bit different. Just tell me a bit more about this inclusivity pledge then, Jess. You mentioned it a little bit there.
Yeah.
How long has that been going on for?
Well, it came about in 2020 that we decided to put our inclusivity pledge down in writing, and you can see the full pledge on our website. But it spans across, like I said, gender, sizing and race. And through the Climbing Unity project, which is a non-profit initiative by Third Rock to increase the diversity within climbing, we offer free coached climbing sessions to Black, Asian and minority ethnic participants. Rachel Carr is actually running the initiative, so maybe she'd like to tell you more about it later, but generally the goal is to expand the climbing community and make it more diverse, so that it's somewhere that everybody can see themselves, see somebody like themselves, and feel a part of something bigger, and most importantly to have fun.
Yeah, This is Matt Phillips with 1 minute 20 or so remaining, just tries to find a method through this lower section. Tried multiple different things. He's just trying to go on the underside of these volumes at the moment and just trying to catch that next one with the left arm and taking the swing, but it's just coming up short on it at the moment. It's one of those moments where you feel like you love to shout beta out, but through these microphones I'm not sure if anybody at home would enjoy that. So tricky to try and figure out these comp style boulders in such a short amount of time. A lot of times once you try a method you feel like it works, it's hard to progress past that method. There's another look at the jump.
Matt really does have to think outside the box for different ways of doing things.
He does, but he really relishes the challenge, I think.
Yeah.
To put guys like Matt into a competition like this is superb, and I think it really brings the best of his climbing out. We saw that on boulder number 1. Is he going to try something a little bit different? There is a decent-ish bit of that hold number 5.
It's quite steep.
Yeah, tenuous starting sort of position, bit of a fight for him. He's going to run out of time here, unfortunately. Matt Phillips looks like pair number 3 on boulder number 3 have run out of time, unfortunately. Quick top from Jen, 25 points for them, plus the 5 from Matt. Final pairing on boulder number 3 next, Aisha Khan and Mikey. Aisha did really well on boulder number 2, good battle on the crimps, the crimp rails, and Mikey was so close to snaring that top on the blue big blobby boulder.
Here they are in the long sleeve versions of the Climbers Against Cancer t-shirts that we're doing. And Aisha in the Gaia jeans again, the Ultimate Movers. She's wearing them in a slightly looser, true to size fit this time. Rachel decided to size down because it's possible to, because they're so stretchy and so comfortable. You can choose whether you go for the tighter fit or the baggier mum fit. This is in the mid-wash denim, which is done using the green wash, the eco green wash finishing process, which saves 50% energy and 50% water during the processing. You'll see the climb bears again on the back, which your furry friends to help you get up the route.
Where did this idea of the bears come from then?
Well, climb bears. I thought we could see ourselves through our furry friends, and they climb trees. Bears climb trees. Bears are very good climbers, so I thought, there's lots of different types of bears in the world, and lots of different climbers in the world, so
looks like
so why not unite the two? Underneath, Aisha's wearing the satin, she got a wolf whistle, the satin bra in Swamp. This has removable pads, so we can hide your nipples nicely.
I'm glad you said that.
Much to the the distress of the boys, they don't do that. Yeah, the long line means that you can wear it as a top. It's all the rage these days, getting a bit of belly out. And Mikey's wearing his favourite trousers that we do, the Supernovas, a different colour brimmer hat, and the Habitat tee in melon colour.
Aisha Khan and Mikey Cleverton then round number 3, working together to get a total of 50 points in as few attempts as possible, 25 per boulder. Looks like they're pretty much decided on this one straight off the bat. Aisha Khan likes the look of the red slab, and Mikey Cleverton kind of likes this Hollywood jumping around style. Let's see what he makes of it. A little bit unsure of the start move. It does require a bit of a pounce. We saw that earlier. We saw Billy top this boulder and Rachel Carr got so close. Let's see how Mikey gets on in this swing section. Close, just kicking off that lower volume in place there just to help you push the body across to the groove. Always laughing. Close from Mikey. As you can see where he's going with that cap on sometimes.
These jeans are also great during the summer months because it's a bit wider fitting around the leg. You get a breeze going. It's not so hot and sweaty to wear denim like this.
Slow and steady then on this boulder for Aisha. It's actually quite difficult to push round into the groove on this boulder. The underside of that dual texture hold, and then the creep, the foot creep out to the left. Haven't seen too many issues on that at the moment. Just really committing onto that foot. You see, time is of the essence on these boulders. It's hard to climb this boulder fast, but at the same time, there's points available on the other side of the wall as well for Mikey. I think you could think about these tactics all day, and the best thing to do is just concentrate on your own boulder and just climb it normally. Pressing through that foot, as we saw with James Taylor, slowly lifting the heel now as she transitions around the corner. A lot of force going through that hold number 15. Bit of a shake on the feet. This is really strong work here from Aisha Khan.
Really strong.
Superb. Good composure on this top section. Plenty of time for Mikey on boulder number 3 as well. Superb top from Aisha Khan.
Nailed it.
Really going well in this comp now. 2 minutes 30, half the time left pretty much for Mikey Cleveland to see what he can do.
You saw how flexible she did the splits in those Gaia jeans then. No problem.
No problem assuming you can do the splits.
Yeah, that's one of the criteria to testing it fully.
I was like an ironing board up there.
Saw Billy doing the splits in the Fitz.
You're a poet and you didn't even know it. Very clever. Just struggling to get the right momentum across there at the moment. There is the hold, you can just about see. He did just touch it slightly illegally with his left hand there. I'm not sure the judge will be pulling up on that. The rule book has somewhat gone out the window, especially in the next boulder. We'll see that in a minute. There is things to come. But it is
some crazy boulders to come.
It is all eyes on Mikey Cleveland at the moment then to try and get through this jump section.
Star jump brush.
The guy with the brushing pole's obviously just gone home. He's in the bar.
We need Dom here.
Yeah, Dom from Rock On.
Yeah.
He knows how to brush a hold, that guy.
He does. In style.
That's one way of calling it. Mikey Cleveland then, this time. Just trying to figure the momentum through here. Oh, that was close. He knows it as well. Tickled the hold round the corner.
That was really close. That was close.
That was close. I can lip read. That's why I hate the masks. I can never tell what people are saying now. We have to wear masks.
Okay.
This competition is still really wide open at the moment. Going into the fourth boulder, it's all still going to be play for. So Mike tries to get himself and his teammate Aisha Khan in a good position with this one. He was really close. He's been so close to boulder number 2 as well. Can he redeem himself on this one? Oh, hits the hole but comes low on the left foot on the volume. I think he's going to run out of time. It's another one that got away for Mikey Cleveland. He's been so close.
So close.
I think he's pretty annoyed about that. Mike Cleveland and Aisha walk away then from boulder number 3. We are moving on to the final boulder of the Third Rock Spring Launch Games. Have just joined us. 8 climbers in teams of 2. Working their way through 4 boulders as a pair.
Here come Team Batter Boom. They've got the unisex bottoms on. You can see them wearing them in very different ways. Looking good on both, and Rachel is wearing hers with our new Peace bralette with the lovely logo elastic on the underbust, and this is a super comfortable bra that has a hybrid strap system which combines a halter neck with a racer back. The racer back pulls the tension away from the neck and distributes it down into the elastic, which makes it uber comfortable. It actually comes with a matching knicker, where you can buy a matching knicker set with it that look gorgeous. Aptly named Nikki. You can see that online. And James is wearing his with the Jack Climber to the Bone vest again, which you can zoom in and see the climbing rack equipment there, making a nice skull and crossbones. So,
moving on to boulder. Yeah, boulder number 4. So, cracks or crimps. This is what we're calling this round, cracks or crimps. And as a route setting team, we looked at the rule book of what you can and can't do in competitions, and then swiftly tore it up and threw it in the bin and just did what we wanted anyway. Boulder on the right is I think James Taylor's just spotted it. It was Rachel said, yeah, your hands start down there. There's a box on the floor, designated starting position for your hands. Hands start on the floor.
But you've already agreed to it, so see ya.
Yeah. Let's agree to it, and then I'll point out where the hands start. James Taylor's going to be on the cracks, and Rachel's looking like she's going to go for crimps, red crimps. And these wide boys volumes, really wide width on the first two, and it gets into a slightly narrow hand jam. Handstand start here then from James Taylor into footlocks. That's the starting position. He achieves the starting position there.
Did you get many of those in Wales?
At some point in Wales, yeah. In goes, that's a really wide fish jam potential at the bottom there to start. Only going full invert. This guy
Wowzers.
really clearly knows what he's doing in the cracks. He's found his party piece here, shuffling the feet. Not sure if I've ever seen a foot first invert, foot shuffle in a crack before in a climbing competition. Superb work here from James. He looks like he could go up there all day, to be honest.
It's working. It's really working.
At which point is he going to try and transition out to the left? Now he does superb work, feet super high. I'm not sure if I've ever seen a comp climber climbing cracks so efficiently as James Taylor here. Can you get that left foot out of the crack? You've got to wiggle it. Somewhat stuck.
Can I get a shoehorn?
Now he gets it out. Didn't have to send in the fire brigade. That's good. Big pinches up on the left side of this boulder to finish. Not potentially that easy to finish. He's looking pretty comfortable, James Taylor here. It's not over, and you can't quite tell from that angle, but it is a really steep bit of wall. One more blade up above on the left hand if he wants it. Oh, and just slips. Surely he's not going to have to go through all of that again.
Got through all of that.
He's having a nightmare on the last moves, this guy. Rachel then into the sort of red crimpy boulder. She's had a really good show so far here. Currently sitting in first position, this pairing. Just dabs into that left hand before moving all the way through for the 360 on the big tongue volume.
You can see why this bra is called Peace Bra, can't you? Because it's got the symbol. The neckline makes the peace symbol.
Good power on the crimps there from Rachel, going again to this pretty positive rail. It gets pretty tricky in the top section. James and Rachel looking to cement their position in the top spot here at the moment, and Rachel's just looking so strong at the moment.
Absolutely.
She's going so well. She's absolutely smashed that boulder. Climber of the day so far, Rachel Carr. Really good turn on all 4 boulders. Superb work. So it's going to be James Taylor. There's the starting position, designated on the floor.
Oh, chalk bag.
Rookie error. Has he got down draft, or is his chalk bag upside down? That's actually such a tricky position to get into, but he was so comfortable. Double fist jams into the sliding feet, inverted feet, foot locks.
I'll have to make chalk bags that work upside down.
Good luck with that. Anti-gravity bag.
Movement.
Really comfortable sliding the feet up there into the perfect hand slot. Chalking up on his way through.
1 minute 50 to hang up there.
Actually spoke to James earlier. He said he spent a long time in Indian Creek on the crack, so obviously he's more than happy in there. Let's see if he's a bit happier on the final hold this time. He slipped out of there earlier.
That's why he's taking his chalk bag this time, I think.
He's just emptied it over the back of his head though. This time then, James Taylor's much more comfortable in the left hand. This time opts for the foot lock on the right toe. Just twist that guy in there and gets it sorted out. Nice work from Rachel Carr and James Taylor. That was an absolute lesson in crack climbing there. If you watched the World Cup last week, I'm pretty sure James Taylor should be heading over and teaching a few of the international teams how to crack climb, because that was an absolute instruction in what to do. Walking away with that team 170 points. Absolutely smashed this comp. Taylor and Con.
Next out we've got Holly again in some Titans, but this time in matching tropical though tangle print, like the Mofo shorts come in. This is a bold, beautiful print, and just ready for flashing roots in.
I like what we've done there.
Ready for flashing the roots in. Yeah. A very transitional piece, brightens up your day, and can mould into any part of your life. And she's paired that with the Alice vest in black with a nice spinal logo there. It's nice and breezy when it's not time. And with the Malibu Equinox bra, you can see that colour pop coming out from under the armhole. And Billy is in the Carabiner tee with the Hero trousers again. The Heroes are elasticated waistband with a internal puller cord which secures it, so you can put really heavy bricks in your pocket if you like, if you've not got a bunch of bananas in there. And it has the banana cut side leg, which
Holly Rees and Billy Rydell then. The first place has been taken away from them by Rachel Carr and James Taylor. Those fine performances on the final boulder means that they cannot be beaten now.
Have they already decided who's doing what?
Does look like it. Holly would openly admit she absolutely loves the crimps, so you would have thought this boulder should suit her. And Billy's looks like he's going to try and get involved in the cracks. I had a bit of a chat with Billy earlier about crack climbing. He says that he, in theory, he knows. He's read about it. Let's put it that way.
He's got the book.
He's read the book, but he's never put it into practice.
Yeah.
Holly goes first then onto this spin through with the feet. So it's a pretty decent foothold under that ginormous sort of red jug. Just going to work the feet through. Then gets the toe hook. Nice. Good power there from Holly Rees. Nicely done. Really in control. Bit of a journey this boulder. A lot of moves. Oh, just got a regular around the start. The full lock on the right arm. Full crimp.
This is really steep.
From that position, that hold is actually totally blind, so it's good work there from Holly. Obviously read it well from the ground. Currently sitting in the 4th position, these guys, so anything they can find here is going to be good. Trying to get themselves on the podium. Big push now from Holly, really starting to fight on these crimps. Easily done through this top section. Nice and controlled. Flash from Holly Rees to finish her round of 4 boulders. So we're going to be on Billy Rydell then to see how he gets on in the cracks. But I think Holly's going to be pretty pleased with that. Good finish, double thumbs up. That's what we want to see.
Right. Here we go. Looks like start of a CrossFit WOD.
I hate CrossFit. Billy not opting to use that lower hold to help him get established into this crack system. He's into the right hand fish jam though, and he's actually just side pulling off of the sort of locking little foothold there, and he's obviously done well reading the books because he's looking pretty comfortable in there.
Yep. Prefer to go hands up first rather than feet all the way.
Off to the right hand sort of toe lock in the big wide section on the right, and Billy Rydell's absolutely blasted that.
Working the crowd.
He has cruised it. Good work from both Holly and Billy there. Puts them into 2nd position. They can still be beaten by either team. Good work on the cracks. These guys, yeah, so impressed so far on cracks and cribs.
Here they come. Jen's wearing the Aster Trousers in Spirulina colourway, alongside the feminine cut Carabiner Tee. And underneath that, I believe she's wearing the black peace bra. So, no, she's not. She's wearing the neon pink Equinox. And this t-shirt has lovely features. It's all about the features, the raw neckline and the rolled sleeves. And it's a really nice lightweight slub. So it's got that slight transparency to it and texture, which is really lovely. Obviously, goes without saying, all our t-shirts are organic cotton, Global Organic Textile Standard certified. And Matt is wearing the Climber to the Bone Jack t-shirt. It's got a really nice, if you see it in real life, you can see the garment wash texture to it. It's really lovely. Along with the tropical Mofo shorts again. These beauties have an elasticated waistband with an internal puller cord, so you can tighten them. You can put really heavy things in your pockets without them coming down, which I've heard is a pet hate of some other shorts I know that on the market.
Especially if you're carrying your bricks, like we talked about. Looks like the third pairing then, Jen Wood and Matt Phillips, have decided what they're doing. They're clearly standing in front of a boulder. They're coming back for a little conference here. Looks like Matt is going to go in for the cracks. Let's see how he gets on in this invert position to start. Straight into it. Body strength for this guy, really impressive. Let's go, Matt. Pushes into the one-hand press. Just got to find that footlock.
It's quite high up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's high up, and it's actually in a pair of soft shoes. It's actually really hard to lock it in there without feeling like you're going to snap your foot. You've seen some of the guys in slightly stiffer shoes really happy in that lot, especially with James Taylor, who was wearing a really stiff Scarpa shoe, and that in testing anyway, it felt like getting into the details here, but a stiffer shoe might be good for the footlocks in that scenario anyway. From purely a pain perspective, as Jen Wood pulls onto her final boulder. Hops to the till initially just to give herself a bit more stability rather than the toes. Just going to unravel. Nicely controlled to that slot. Looking for that maximum points on this one, try and push themselves up the leaderboard as far as possible.
The flexibility on these trousers is brilliant.
Slightly different method there from Jen, just to palm down that rail and go again. Then to bring the right hand into the 15-point hold, and that was easily done from Jen Wood. Good work.
Speedy Gonzalez.
No issues at all. That ends her competition. Into the handstand. Obviously a bit harder for him. He's got to really do that with a bit of a one-arm handstand. Now get something happening.
Yeah.
Come on, Matt Phillips. Let's go. Can now use that lower hold. He's trying to use it. Putting in a massive battle here, Matt Phillips. Oh yes. Good work. Really good fight. Nearly controlled the footlocks. It's one of those moves, if you don't feel like the footlocks are really keyed into there, it feels really unnerving to try and lift your, in Matt's case, lift your arm off the floor, because it's just, you just feel like you're going to slide onto your head basically.
Yeah, on your neck.
When it locks well. Wasting no time going straight back into it. This start with hands on the mats has actually been done before. It was a Climbing Works International Festival Quiff inspiration from back in the day, but didn't go into the fist jams, that one. I think it was a different type of jam. Let's see if Matt can really establish himself up in the hold this time. Really got the footlocks really low down this time. Toe hook in the back of his heel. Now starts to shuffle. New method here from Matt. This is good work. You just see his feet still sliding and not quite keyed in there. Foot width does play an important role here as well. Oh, just tickles the underside of that. This guy's going to be going through the pain barrier right now. 2 minutes of his time remaining on the fourth boulder.
I'm really glad we could get our community together on this event, because Third Rock's massively about the community, and we're actually the first climbing brand to be owned by our community. We have over 400 investors through a Seeders campaign we did just over a year ago, and we're just about to start another one, so more people can be involved from the community. We're doing another fundraise, which you can find out more about on our website if you're interested.
Matt just psyching himself at the bottom there. He knows he's got to go full body effort to get into this starting position. Currently sitting on 140 points, as you can see there on the top left of your screen. If he can just get himself established in his left arm in that starting hold, he will get 5 points. His feet still low, but he likes this method of sort of hugging that lower sloping jug and shuffling the feet. Let's go now, Matt Phillips, come on. A lot of support for him from everybody in the wall here. Just trying to key those feet, and you can't train for that. There's the 5 points. This is good work. He's opting for the layback. If you can turn it all around. Horrendous to layback that. That was close. 145 though. Equal number of attempts. Oh, now just as I say that, the scoreboard does update. One more attempt. Going to get into that score. Attempts have racked up for Jen and Matt. Going in for one more go. He's such a fighter. He's had a really big battle all the way across these 4 boulders with Matt Phillips. He looks absolutely gassed. The inverters taking its toll. Good work though from Matt Phillips and Jen Wood. They won't progress past third position due to the number of attempts to their 145 points. 15 attempts for them, just 11 for Billy Rydell and Holly Rees. Attempts did come and separate them. James Taylor and Rachel Carr have taken the win on this competition. To be honest though, it's not really about who wins and who loses this competition. It's about getting people together. And it's going to be Aisha Khan and Mikey on their final boulder.
Enjoying your bonkers problems as well. Here's Aisha in the Reese again, this time in a size smaller than the last one, so you can see it in a different fit. This is in the organic cotton stretch twill, very lightweight. Both of the woven pieces here, both on both competitors, are lightweight. You can see the big pocket there that's divided into 3, and the carabiners, clip closures. Nice little detail there. She's wearing this with the satin bra in Perkle Potion. We actually have some youth leggings coming in this colour as well for the summer. And Mikey is wearing the Morph Tee in Blue Lake, which is, as I've said before, is dip dyed in our studio, along with the Ramblers climbing chino, giving us a wiggle there, which is very transitional, and it's quite a smart version of the climbing trouser.
Final pairing out then on the final boulder. Aisha Khan and Mikey Cleverden currently sitting down in last position in 4th, but can easily climb up into 2nd or 3rd. Depending on how they go with their number of attempts. Just discussing who's going to take the red crimps on the left and who's going to take the black cracks on the right. It's going to be clearly Aisha on the left, favouring the crimps, as Mikey's going to have to tackle the cracks.
The ladies seem to prefer the crimps, don't they, so far?
So far, yeah. Yeah, I don't think that was initially obvious from sort of the outset, but
on this particular choice of 2, they've gone for that one where they've left the blokes with the handstands.
Oh, looks like we're going straight in for one as well. Mikey Cleverden. I hope his cap doesn't get in the way on this first move. Seems quite happy in the footlocks initially. Goes for like a Gaston with the right hand there.
Maybe his feet are
left hand. It's left hand. He's upside down. Yeah, foot size could actually make a difference here, just as his left foot does pop there. But he's getting in a pretty decent battle here. Looks quite comfortable from that angle anyway. On the cracks, he's laid back in that additional screw on that's just wedged into that volume. trying to avoid the hand jams for as long as possible. Now brings in that right hand fist jam. Full fist jam there, and slides straight out of it. He's got to battle all the way through that starting position one more time. Mikey Clevenon's definitely been the battler of today, falling off the last move of pretty much every boulder so far. Aisha Khan then has looked really solid throughout the competition. Struggled a bit on the first boulders, but really came good on boulders 2 and 3. Let's see how she likes this. That blocked slot for the right hand is actually pretty small. It's more of a 3-finger hold than a full crimp, and opts for a full slap to the big, I've been calling it sort of the big tongue jug around the side. It looks like a tongue. It's absolutely massive hold, but it is around the back of a volume, and opts for the full crimp. Mikey just in for a bit of spray on the beta there potentially.
Don't feel rushed though. We can always just stand around, it's no problem.
So she's read that sort of feet first method that we saw from some Rachel, Holly and Jen. Using the time wisely, these two. Big rest for Mikey as Aisha tries to get the feet first. Look at the body power there. Nicely done. Drills the toe into that sort of additional screw-on to help walk the feet through, and whatever they discussed between the 2 attempts, it's worked. Oh! She's managed to land on her head as well. Full commitment from Aisha Khan then. She just slips out of that toe hook as Mikey gets ready to embrace the pain on boulder number 4. Did actually really well to fully establish himself on the full fist jams on his first attempt. That's not an angle you see at a climbing competition very often.
Really got those arms long, got his feet high on it.
Yeah, quickly round this time. So it doesn't look 100% happy on the jam. Now really grinds it in. You can see how much better the left-hand set of volumes is compared to the right. Perfect hand jams for the 10-point hold on the left, and Mikey's got a bit of a battle in his hand, opting to go straight direct to the top of that volume. Still has to go out left then, really enjoying that sort of big wrap for the right hand. It's not all over this boulder though, especially if your right hand's all the way over there, sort of compressing the boulder. So he's going to pounce through it and gets it done, nicely done. Good fight from Mikey Cleveland. I think that's an at last. I found the top. Got the top done at last.
Yeah, happy lad, happy as Larry.
Nice, Mikey, good work. Pushes them to a score of 135 then. She's got to get good way up this boulder to try and push into the 2nd place position.
Yes, dude, nice one.
Comfortable one there. It's actually a pretty big rock over this, and although some of the other ladies have made that crimp look like a jug, it is really bad. Just got to keep it together now here. Pushes into that magic 145 score. Keep this going, and Mikey Cleven and Aisha Khan are going to be into 2nd position here. Opts for this sort of slot for the toe. As I really think once she's comfortable enough on it, she can walk around. Oh yes, big power screen for Aisha, really digging in there. Pushes them up into 2nd place. Absolute performance of the night, really. Aisha Khan putting in here. Just got to find the right method here. And drops it. We have seen that method used once before. Others have decided to cross. Ultimately does get them into 2nd place though. Good work. I think they're walking away.
Fantastic performance.
Awesome effort from both of those guys on the final boulder. Bit of a fight all the way through, and great show all round on all 4 rounds. 8 boulders in total. A couple of interesting decisions on the round as we went through.
Here they all are.
Yeah, it's good to see they all got to watch their fellow Third Rock ambassadors on those final boulders.
Yeah. They're the winners.
Looking happy.
Yeah,
Looking
super stoked.
Looking happy. Superb work from all 4 teams actually, and they really took this event. It's a fashion show and it's a climbing competition rolled into one. It's probably never been done before. It's a bit different, but the athletes really have taken it in their stride. They've really come on board with an event, possibly quite far outside their comfort zone a lot of the time.
They've been great sports and up for anything.
And managed to climb hard at the same time, which is not necessarily easy with the cameras in your face, the spotlights in your face. Big battle from Matt Phillips. It was really good to see him on boulder number 1.
There's Claire in the background saying, "Where's James? Come on, get."
That's what I love about a proper event organiser. Let's get this on time.
Oh. Well, I hope they've enjoyed themselves and had a good laugh with all the interesting problems. Mikey certainly has.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't know how to have a bad time climbing. I think he just loves the sport, loves everything about it. He's a route setter and just really gets stuck into absolutely everything that's put in front of him. The winners are being announced right now.
Podium.
3rd place, Billy Rydell and Holly Rees. Holly did so well on that final boulder.
They're the same size.
Is Cleveland and Alicia Carr.
Yeah, well chosen podium positions there from Billy and from Holly. Stars of the show, Alicia Carr and Mikey Cleveland. Really close from Aisha for a top in the final boulder. Not quite, but good top from Mikey. Cruising up the cracks. Proves that comp climbers can crack climb. But the winners who took it away pretty easily in the end, especially on that final boulder, Rachel Carr and James Taylor. First ones out in the final boulder, dominated, elbow bumps all around.
Yeah. They've won a £500 prize from sponsored by Jason Sourdough, a sourdough bread company. There they've squeezed on, squeezed on. So they look really happy with themselves. Team Batter Boom won.
Okay, that does end what was fantastic, a fashion show and a climbing competition combined into one. The winning team you can see there is Rachel Carr and James Taylor. They take away the £500 cash prize, courtesy of our lovely sponsor Jason Sourdough, bread that fuels the spirit of adventure. That is it from us in the commentary position. I want to say a huge thanks to Boulderhut and all their amazing staff to make this event possible. The athletes, hold sponsors, Tech Native and the Route. It's been absolutely brilliant. I've been Mike Langley. Jess has been joining me in the competition. We'll see you again sometime soon. Thank you very much and good night.
Good night.